You can't hear me. I am bad about doing that. Hey, how are you? And I was like, out the corner of my eye, I was like, darn, the chat blowing up. That's why I didn't turn on my microphone. Sorry. How is everyone? Can you hear me now? Is that better? All right, cool beans. Thank you so very much, y'all. I am bad about this, y'all. This is crazy. So at any rate, how are you doing today? I hope everybody's doing good and had a great week and an awesome weekend. And we're going to round up our weekend today by doing an In the Hoop project. So we're going to be in embroidery tonight. So everything is going to be embroidery. And I have told you guys that I wanted to embark on a quilting journey of sorts and learn how to do quilting because that's not, I know how to do quilting. I know the concept behind it and what you have to do to quilt, but I personally hadn't ever, I made like one full blown, what you could qualify as quilt, and I only did top. I didn't actually finish it because I was so frustrated with how it turned out because I wanted it to be perfect lines, perfect intersections, the whole nine, but it didn't work out that way. So I'm going to do a try over. We're going to try it again, but this time there's going to be a bit of a twist. So I told you guys that I was going to get into quilting, but what I didn't mention is my goal is to do in the hoop quilting. So the quilting that I'm going to start doing is all going to be on the embroidery machine. So that's what I've been looking into. That's what I've been studying. And so far, everything is totally awesome. But tonight, what we are going to do is step by step. If you have Sew What Pro, we are going to create an In the Hoop project, quilted project, completely in Sew What Pro. All right. So hope you're looking forward to that. I am super excited to get with you guys tonight. One of the things I want to start out mentioning is we are on Facebook. Okay, so if you are interested in joining the Hoop group on Facebook, just shoot on over to Facebook, look up either the Baby's Booty or Hoop group, and we should pull up. All right, look for me in the purple background with McQuackins, and you can join there. It's free of charge. Also, we have our website here, as you see, thebabiesbooty.com. You can go to our website, and there is a membership there as well. You can click on join, and you can sign up there. It's like forums, so to speak, where you can go there and post pictures of your projects, and in the Hoop group on Facebook as well. Share your projects. We would love to see your end result projects, and it also works to inspire each other. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you have like a writer's block, but it ends up being more of a embroidery block. And sometimes it's like, okay, what can I work on? And it's inspirational to others. So please be sure to share your projects as long as they're not offensive. We would love to see them. But also here on YouTube, even if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. If you like our videos, hit the like button, please. Also, we have memberships here on YouTube. And what that does is all of the contributions that you guys give here on YouTube through your memberships, it all goes right back into our channel where we purchase things to test out and show you how these things work and stuff like that. So you have membership option here. Just click the blue join button. And the link also to join in the memberships is in the description below. You get a bell ring. You also get the option of getting your own bell. You would just go to the website, click on request a bell, fill out the information, and we'll get a bell out in the mail to you as long as you have a live membership here on YouTube, a paid membership. And we have 3 levels for 3 financial options so that it doesn't break the bank. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate it, and we appreciate each and every one of you who do decide to join up. We love having you here as our family. So without too much more talking, because I done already wasted 3 minutes talking to myself because y'all couldn't hear me. I like to say hi to the folks that have popped in for the first about 10-15 minutes here on the channel. So I want to definitely say hey to Miss Scooby-Doo, who is in here first and foremost, bright and early. She says hello, everyone, and hello back to you, Miss Scooby-Doo. Hope you're doing great. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. She is a member here on this channel. Miss Pressure, hello. Dorothy Gaston, hi. Isabel, how are you doing today? So crafty, hello, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Miss Leela Nelson, hello to you as well. She also is a YouTube Hoop Group member. Thank you very much. Miss Sheila Cushenberry, hi Sheila Cushenberry. She's been in this Hoop Group, a part of our YouTube family since the beginning. Y'all love Miss Sheila Cushenberry. Miss Ethel Smith, welcome. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member as well. Rashonda, Thompson, hello. Walk by Faith, hi. How are you? Shayna Krause, hello. How are you doing tonight? I see Keisha Hinton, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I haven't seen your name in here before. Welcome. Monica Torres, and welcome. Miss Shayna was trying to tell me. Y'all couldn't hear me. Sorry about that. Tanyu, hey Tanyu, how are you doing tonight? And thank you as well for being a YouTube Who Group member. I definitely appreciate it. Norma, how are you this evening? Miss Shirley Stewart, thank you very much. And thank you for being a YouTube Who Group member as well. Appreciate you being here. Let us see. I gotta scroll past the can't hear you because that was tragic. Sorry, y'all. That was crazy. Let's see. Suzanne R, welcome. Rosemary Rowan as well. Thank you for letting me know you couldn't hear me. I appreciate that. Eric McNeil and Kingsbury Crafts and Annette Turner, thank you so very much. Jeanette Davis as well. Lori Campbell. Hey Lori, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Marilyn Bolduc, welcome. Patrina Gosha, welcome. Let's see. All right, Nick Nack Nurse. Hey, Miss Nick Nack Nurse, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Carmen says, hello, Eve and Who Group bought me a Cricut Explorer 2. Worked on some bling mask. I have a Cameo 4 collecting. It does so hard to use. Oh, too hard to use. Explorer 2, so easy. Well, congratulations, Carmen, on your Cricut Explorer 2. We're going to ring the bell for your new baby girl. Yes! Congratulations. Thank you. I'm going to have to check and make sure that y'all could hear that because, you know, sometimes my bling kind of messes with the sound. My ring, messes with the sound. Karen Murray, thank you. I appreciate that. And welcome. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. April Jackson. Hey, Miss April Jackson. Welcome. Sharon Sparks. Love the name. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. All right, going back in here. Yes, we can hear. Thank you. I appreciate that. Weddings Designs, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Ashita Solomon, thank you for joining us as well. Lakeisha Monique, I appreciate that. Thank you for joining us this evening. Terry Barnhill, welcome. Thank you for hanging out with us this evening. Latanya Wade Willis, good evening to you as well. We appreciate you being here. So Crafty said, finally got a Cricut mini press. Cool beans. I love that little mini press, y'all. I've been weighing mine out. Congratulations. Actually, let me check this first. Congratulations and thank you for letting us know you got an easy press. Awesome. Yay. A new little easy press, baby. I love it. I wish I had mine out here. I'd show you. I love it. That thing is so cool. It's so super cute as well. Let us see. I saw a question. Restored highly favored 777. Okay, what's the difference between the Sew What Pro sessions you provide? So the Sew What Pro sessions that I have listed on my website, all of those are just different sessions. The master class is the polishing of the stone. The ninja is teaching all about cutting up designs and things like that. So it's all, you know, slicing and dicing related type tips and tricks and instructions on Sew What Pro. And then the first one is just your basic Sew What Pro basics. I mean, just the bare bottom, something to get you started and get you in there. All three will have you completely trained on Sew What Pro and how to use it from top to bottom. Won't be any gaps in there. So that's what the three different sessions are. And those are available on our website under Video Hub. And they are, you can either purchase or actually the videos are for rent too. So you have that option as well, just to watch it and take your notes or whatever if you don't wish to purchase. But those are available on the website. We also in the spirit of our video today, our live today, doing this In the Hoop project, we also have an In the Hoop class that's live on the website right now. And if you go to um, our website, let me get the link for you and put it up here so that you can see it. There we go. So right here above our website, you'll see what the link is for our classes. You can definitely go there and check out our classes. It is going to be 2 In the Hoop projects that we will be doing live. Okay. If you take the class, it's 1 class live. All right. And it is an In the Hoop project. Now we have 10 pre-sale tickets that are available at that link under the same class. 10 of the tickets come with the hardware that's needed for both of the projects. Okay, so the hardware that you need to complete both of the projects is going to be with those 10. All right, after the first 10 tickets, regular tickets, I'll have links where you can go and purchase the extra materials that you'll need for the projects. Now, I do have the the webinar login information link will go out when you buy the ticket. It'll go out to you the day before the event. But a few days before the event, we'll send you the project class list so that you'll know what to have on hand so that you can follow along if you want to. Okay, but we do have a new In the Hoop class that is available. Now, this one isn't quilting. We will have, I think it's going to be a total of 2 more different In the Hoop project classes that are going to come up. And just be on the lookout for it, because I've been searching for the coolest or the most unique In the Hoop projects that I can come up with, that I can find, or that I've created, and we're going to use those in our class and have a good time. So I'm super excited about it. Like I said, if you're interested, go to here, the events-1 for that In the Hoop class, and then you'll be able to sign up with us and craft right along with us. It's all embroidery. Now, the In the Hoop classes are all 5x7 and up, unfortunately. So the designs that we'll be doing in the Hoop class are only for 5x7 and up machines, unfortunately. So what I've decided to do was save the 4x4 In the Hoop projects for live, like we're doing tonight, or a pre-recorded video. So you're not going to be left out of In the Hoop things, but your 4x4 project is going to be completely different from the projects that we'll be doing with the class. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Each one of our In the Hoop classes, whether it's live here or pre-recorded video, or if it's in the class that's actually a paid for class, those are, each one has different projects. They're not going to be the same. So after we do this one In the Hoop class that's coming up, that's listed right here, that's only 1 class. So if you don't get to take the class, you miss out on that specific In the Hoop project. And I've kind of been keeping it a surprise. I don't want to tell what it is just yet. So it's unique. I haven't seen it anywhere else. And I'm hoping that it's something useful, something that you could actually, like, one is a trinket that you could sell at a craft fair or give as gifts if you wanted to. You can jazz it up and give it as a gift. The other is the same. You can sell it at a craft fair, you can give it as a gift, or you can make it for yourself. It's actually a really cute little thing. So I'm excited about that. I've already gotten the designs, and I'm just really super excited about it. So a good week before the class, I'll have a picture of what the 2 projects are and let you see what they are and what we're going to be doing. So sorry about rambling on about that, but just wanted to give you an update on that. My favorite asked about the Sew It Pro classes. I wanted to mention that as well. So the events, the tickets to the webinar, the live webinar stitch along is right here. But the Sew It Pro classes that I've already recorded and have videos and tutorials on, that's under Video Hub on our website, which is below the class link. All right. Let us see. Miss 143, hello, how are you? Welcome, and thank you for joining us this evening, taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. We definitely appreciate it. Um, Joanna Holmes, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Ms. Beverly Smith, hello to you as well. And thank you very much for being a YouTube Hoop Group member for sure. Inspiration Creations, hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Gail Moore, good evening to you as well. Thank you for being here. Lakeisha Monique says, I sent you a message in your messages on the Hoop Group, but someone told me to email you. Is that the best? I needed your permission. If I'm remembering correctly, I think I've already gotten your message and I reviewed it, but I haven't reviewed it in detail if it's what I think it is. But usually email is the better because um, it's difficult sometimes to get a hold to those instant messages. But email me is fine, thebabiesbooty@gmail.com if you haven't already. Miss Andrea Ross, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Miss Mary Stowell, thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member as well. Welcome. Miss Contessa Harris, thank you as well and welcome back. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate it. The Sewing Brat, we missed you as well. Thank you for being back with us and I'm glad you are back. It's been a lot of folks that have taken some time off and that's okay, no worries. Miss Carol Coleman, hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. And Miss Debbie D, thank you as well for being a YouTube Hoop Group member and for joining us this evening. Robin White is here from Atlanta. Ant-Man Anthony, hello. How are you? Gail McNair, Willie Roseman, welcome. Thank you for joining us, everyone, this evening. I know Sheila Cushionberry, that's crazy. I'm glad you can read lips. That's funny. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Rashonda Thompson. No worries. No worries. We like doing the shout outs around here. Let's see. Shayna Kraus, thank you. I appreciate that. Iris Diaz, Arva McLaurin, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And you guys, I am feeling great today. I have a brand new grandbaby that came today, so I'm super excited about that. That was at, what time was it? It was about 12:15. We got a new grandson, so super excited. And all the more reason to bust out these in the hoop quilting stuff. I'm about to be busy, y'all. Emma Anthony says, I have a question. I can't find the installation code for my Singer Futura and need to reinstall it. What should I do? I would contact Singer and see if they can help you with that. Singer, most of the companies have generic codes that a person can use, a universal code of sorts, to be able to get into their products. So I would definitely start there and see if they can help you. I didn't know they had an installation code, so that's news to me. So what home party? Welcome. She says, hello, new to the channel and embroidery. My name is Andrea. Welcome, Andrea. Thank you for joining us this evening and thank you for hanging out with us on our channel. We really appreciate it. Pamela Bradley White, thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member and we appreciate you being here. Embroidery Diva is here. Welcome. Araceli McCune, welcome. Let's see. Am I caught up? Oh, Pearl Lucas, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Nancy Faust, thank you for joining us. Restored and highly favored. Okay, great. Thanks, E, for answering my questions. You're welcome. One more. Do you have more 4x4 projects you can make? Can I do in the hoop with 4x4 or 5x7? Well, the one that we're doing tonight is going to be for the 4x4 embroidery machine. But Designs by Little B is a website I often refer folks to. She has tons and tons and tons of in the hoop designs and projects on her website, and they are super affordable. So if you want to jump over there, just in case you didn't hear what I said, the Designs by Little B, is on this side right here. That's her website. Just check her out and she'll show you some really cool in the hoop projects. And like I said, very, very affordable. Michelle Rosencrans, welcome. It's okay. Had you been earlier, you would have not heard me. So welcome. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. PJ Coppage, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Me Creatively by Kim, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Patty Callborn, thank you. Callbaum, sorry. I think I got that wrong. Welcome, and thank you for congratulating me. I am so super excited. So super excited. Hopefully we'll be able to have some super cute pictures soon. And you know what? It kind of like sucky a little bit because you can't go and love on it right away because of dumb COVID. It's just so annoying. So annoying. But at any rate, let us go ahead and get started because this is going to be a step-by-step presentation tonight. Okay. Oh, cool, Patty. I appreciate that because sometimes I struggle. So what we're going to do is we are going to actually use the program So What Pro to create this project. Now, I want to forewarn you that we won't be able to do this project if you have the demo version. Pretty sure, yeah, no, you won't be able to do this project with just the demo version. But if you have the full version, let's show you a really cool in the hoop project that you can make all on your own, and it's super excited. All right. It would be Miss Gail McNair, but in this instance, it's not gonna be. It's gonna be a personal thing that we'll be using to for ourselves. All right. So what you will need in addition to So What Pro to get this project done is you're going to need some quilters cotton, and I just got this quilting square. I keep forgetting what the name of it is, from Walmart. So the 18 by 18, I think is what the size of it is, quilting cotton. And then Dollar Tree usually has these microfiber washcloths, okay, in the bath section. And these you've seen me use to sublimate on and make custom sublimated washcloths for kids. But we're going to use one of these in a completely different way today for our project. All right. And like I said, it's a quilting project. So if you want to, you can use quilters batting, but I think this is going to be overkill for our project. I don't know. Hopefully we'll have a moment to get more than one made because it's going to stitch up super easy. So hopefully we can, if you want to, you can use this. But if you don't want to, what I would say is double up on the microfiber. Okay. And we'll get to that when we get to that part of the project. You'll need your tearaway stabilizer, which I have this huge colossal roll right here that I'm going to cut way down so that it will fit the 4x4 hoop. You need your 4x4 embroidery machine, which we already have set up with the camera ready to go. So we are going to have some fun with that. All right. And we also need our scissors, as I like to call them. I got a pack of scissors. You need embroidery thread, your bobbin thread, and your hoop to go with the 4x4 hoop. Okay. So let me pull my chat back up and make sure I'm not missing anything. Fat quarter. Thank you, Tanya. I swear, since COVID, it is just so hard to remember things, and I go to say something that I'm used to and that I'm familiar with, and it's like I can't pull up the words for anything. It is so annoying, y'all. Just totally. First Lass. Hey, First Lass. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us, Glenn. Excitement T, my first live also. I have the Topaz 40. Welcome, Excitement T. We're going to have fun with your Topaz. So hopefully we'll get us some really cool project that you can use. Barbara Gabbard, thank you as well. Bella Ann, welcome. Thank you for joining us for the first time. We definitely appreciate it. And Gail McNair, I hope I can make it with FTCU. Not sure what FTCU is. I'm drawing a blank. Help me out if you want to. And for those of you who are your first time here, please hit the subscribe button if you would like to subscribe to our channel. And like I said, we are on Facebook. Look up the Hoop Group or the Baby's Booty. You also have forums here, thebabiesbooty.com, where you're free to join and share pictures of your projects. And here on YouTube, you can join with a membership. So definitely keep that in mind. Laverne Miller, welcome. Kimberly Joyner, welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Barbara says she wished she could blame the memory on COVID. No, I had memory issues before COVID too, but it's like way worse. So it's annoyingly worse. Diana Henderson, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you being here. So what we are going to do is create our own in the hoop face wash pads, so to speak, makeup remover pads. So what I'm going to do is open up a new thing here on Sew It Pro, and then we're going to switch over to our Sew It Pro. So let's switch to this camera, and then here is Sew It Pro. All right, so like I said, it's an in the hoop makeup remover pad, so that's why we're going to need the quilter's cotton, and the microfiber washcloth is going to be the back side of the pad. Okay, so what we want to do is start out, like I said, this is going to be completely done through Sew It Pro. I didn't buy a design to put on here, anything. So the first thing we want to do is open up. Now keep in mind, actually, before I get into this, don't be annoyed with me, because as I mentioned, sometimes the memory part is just like really bad. Somebody even made a comment on the video about something. But anyways, I may forget a step. If I do, don't pay me any mind. We're going to work our way through this, because I just made this within the last hour just to make sure that it would work. And so I may forget the steps, but I shouldn't, but let's hope not. Okay. So the first thing we want to do, again, open up Sew It Pro. All right. And when you get into Sew It Pro has an option to add a border automatically, which is really cool and very thoughtful of them to put that in there for us. So you can't digitize with Sew It Pro, meaning you can't take a logo and change it into your own embroidery design. Sew It Pro is completely an editing program, but it does have some really cool features that you can use and combine together to create a project like you're digitizing it. Okay, so this is one of those examples. So here we have right up here, smack dab in the middle, add a border. You can do alternate B on your keyboard when Sew It Pro is open, or you can come up here to tools, and the very first option is add a border. So we want to open that up so that we can get this add border stitches dialog box. Okay, and hopefully you guys can see all of that on your screen. Let me make sure you can. Okay, cool. So here is your add a border stitches. The first thing we're going to do, you can do any shape you want, but the easiest one to do is the circle. So we're going to grab us a circle. Okay, now when you do an in the hoop project, usually, especially when it involves the steps that we're doing, are very similar to applique, you need a placement stitch. So that's the first thing we want to create, is our placement stitch. So we're going to grab this circle, and a placement stitch is just a straight stitch, a running outline. So the border stitch properties, we're going to say running outline. All right. And then we have our stitch length. It's already at 2. We're not going to change that. But here with the border width and the border height, it's a circle, so they're both going to be the same. I have it set at 3.6. Okay. It's a pretty decent size little circle to use for makeup. So I'm going to leave it at 3.6, and it should fit in our hoop. So let's select that, and then I'm going to do the running outline. We're going to leave the thread black for right now. You want each of these steps to be a different color, so that on your single needle machines, after it stitches that one color, your machine should stop and not go to the very next step. Okay, so we're going to leave that the same color and click OK. All right, so what that does is it opens up our 4x4 square. Let's zoom in a little bit here. It opens up our 4x4 square, and here is our running stitch outline circle. So this is the placement stitch. So now that we have our placement stitch and our circle, I want to do a quilted makeup pad. Now, if you don't want yours to be quilted, you can skip this step altogether. But to me, the quilted actually adds a sophisticated little look and we want to be special, we want to be fancy. So we're going to do some quilting. So now I have this color stop selected, and then you see the dotted box around our circle to help make sure that it's selected. And we're going to go back to our add a border tool. So when we open this up, now what I want to do is select stippling, which is right here, the second box down. So let's click on stippling. And once you click stippling, it's going to open up all these awesome quilted patterns that are built into SewUp Pro. All right, so I want to do this one. This one is my favorite. Let me see. I don't think this is built in. Yeah, this one is built in. Yep, that one's built in. So we're going to select this one. It's my favorite. I think it's a totally chic pattern. I absolutely love it. And then we're going to tell it to quilt the interior of that circle that we just put on our SewUp Pro program. So quilt interior and hit OK. All right, and that's all you need to do, except for change the color. So we're going to change it to hot pink. I'm going to click OK because we want our next step to be a different color. So you got to click on thread and pick whatever color you want. It really doesn't matter. And we'll click OK. So now it put that really cool pattern in on our inside our circle so that we'll have our quilting pattern there. All right. Our next step is we need a tack down stitch. Okay. Now you'll notice that I'm doing these out of order, but we're going to put them in the correct order once they're done. The reason why I'm doing them out of order is because we need to be sure that this quilting pattern, when it comes in and quilts the interior, that it quilts the one circle, because if you add the others, it'll get kind of confused and it's kind of crazy. So we don't want those issues. So I'm adding the running outline of the circle, which is the placement stitch to show you where to place your fabric. Now we're doing our quilting, adding the quilting stitch in there. So now I'm going to add the tack down stitch, which is basically the exact same thing as the placement stitch. So let's grab our circle again. We're not going to change any of these measurements because we want it to be the exact same. And then I'm going to do the bean outline, which is going to tack down that fabric really good, just in case I cut through a thread. It'll still hold on with some extra stitches there. That's why I love the bean outline. So we're going to grab that, and then I'm going to change the color of that thread to, let's just say, blue. All right, and click OK, and then click OK. So now we have our placement stitch to show where the circle will go. Then we have our quilting stitch. Then we have our tack down stitch. Now, in doing this project, what we want to do is the placement stitch to show where to lay down the fabric. Then we want to tack that fabric in place. So technically, this blue circle should be the next step. It should be in place number 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and add that. So we'll hit our shift key hold down shift on your keyboard. Click on the 3, hold it, and you see it turns into a little box because I'm holding it down on my mouse, and drag it up to number 2 and let go. And so that moves 1, now 2, and now 3. Okay. And this is the order we want it to be in. We want it to put our placement stitch, then we'll lay on our stabilizer. Our tearaway stabilizer is going to do a circle. Then we're going to lay down our fabric on our placement stitch. All right, so we're going to do our cotton fabric, and at that step we're either going to do our microfiber, one layer of the microfiber, or your quilting batten to go in the middle, and then we'll do our quilted step, which is number 3. I'm sorry, we'll do our tack down. You see what I'm saying? I get all discombobulated nowadays. So we'll do our placement, tack down stitch, sorry, to tack those 2 pieces of fabric down in place. After we do that, then we'll cut around it like applique, right? We'll cut around it so that we'll just leave our circle with the raw edges. Then we'll do our quilting. All right, get it right, Eve. I got it right. Okay, so those are the steps. Now we're going to add the final step after we do our quilting, and that is going to be the satin outline. Okay, I'm going to show you what values I put in for a satin outline for this type of project. So let's go back to add a border because that's what we want to do. And for our custom border, we're going to select our circle. Okay, again, we're going to do a satin outline because we want to finish out our thing and then we'll tear it out. We'll have a finished pad, right? So our satin thickness, I like a thick applique border, so I have mine set at 60. You can go 50 if you want to. You can go 55. You can go 40. It's just entirely up to you. This is going to be your custom in the hoop project. I'm showing you the steps that I went through for the design and the look that I wanted. And then you can do different if you want to. Okay. But mine is set at 60. And then satin stride I have set at 2. Okay. So this is satin stride is the distance between the stitches. So I want it to be a tight circle. So we got another 2. Now with the satin outline, I want it to be just a smidge bigger than our placement circle. I want it to be just a smidge bigger. So what we're going to do is right here it says 3.6. Hopefully this will work. We're going to change this to 3.8. I'm going to have to look at it because I may have to go back and change my other circles to 3.4 and leave the satin at 3.8. But we'll check it here in a moment. And then I'm going to change the color to, let's do green, lime green, and I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to click OK. So now notice how this black border is going dead smack in the center of that satin stitch. If I had have done it at the exact same size, if I had not have changed it to 3.8, what would have happened is the satin outline would have started right here. The edge of it would have been where this black is and then come to the inside. And that's not what I want. I want to trim that applique so that I make sure that this satin covers the raw edge from where we trim around our circle. Okay. So here is our makeup pad. We're done. This is your file that you would use to create your in the hoop makeup remover pads. Okay. Now, if you want to go super extra fancy, just super extra over the top, these are mine, these are custom, my stuff is going to be super cute. Here's another step you can do. And it's completely optional. We can go to file and we can merge. And when I go to merge, what I'm going to do is like a monogram and monogram my little makeup pads. So I'm going to go to my quick access file, find my embroidery lettering. So here's my folder. And I'm going to go down to Stitchtopia, who is my absolute favorite, super cute embroidery design for fonts. All right, and she has a font called Abby. So let's select that one. And I'm going to put a letter E on my makeup pad. So let's go to 1 and this one is 1/2 inch size, 0.5. I want to go to 1.5. So let's scroll down till I see 1.5, which is right here. And we'll grab a capital letter E. Super cute, isn't it? I love that letter. So let's open and it's going to populate right in the center of my makeup remover pad. So if you want, you can add a monogram to it and I'll show you how that works as well. But when we do the letter needs to come right after our quilted stitch. Okay, so let's grab our letter and I'm going to move it up to the quilted. Nope, that's below the quilted. Let's come down. So we quilt, we add our letter, then we finish out our pad. Okay, so that's how that would work if you wanted to do a letter on your custom pad. So I'm going to check the chat really quick while cutting out my my stabilizer so that we can go ahead and get our project going. And where is my chat? So that I can see if there's any question. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Hey, Marissa Dandridge, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Patrina Gosha, can Sew What Pro projects be used with the Singer XL embroidery machine? Yes, it can. The Sew What Pro has file extensions for practically every embroidery machine there is out there. All right. Is it out of focus? Hopefully it focused. I don't know if y'all could see. Were you able to see that screen? Let me know. Sharon Sparks, you're a quilter. I'm hoping I can do it. Some say it's out of focus. I'm sorry. Hopefully it cleared up, because otherwise I don't know how to get it to be better in focus, especially if we're showing the screen. Oh, hey, Miss Beth. Eve, I don't have Sew What Pro. I have Embroiderers Essentials. Am I able to use this program to make this next weekend when I have time? I'm not sure, Michelle, because this is these are specific steps to Sew What Pro. What I will suggest is check Embroiderers Essentials to see if you have similar options in your program that will allow you to duplicate the same kind of steps in your program that we did in this one. I haven't used I haven't used their brilliance. That is hilarious. Scooby-Doo to my pink. Yep. Sorry. I just picked a color. That is hilarious. I saw that out the corner of my eye. Let's see. Scroll down and make sure there's nothing else. I couldn't move the blue to the number 2. You would have to hold down the shift key, click on the number that you want to move, and while holding down the click and the shift key, drag it up to the position number 2. Let me see, were you able to get that? Nope, I don't see. Let me know whether you were able to get that to work or not. First class, you schedule your medicine. I ain't mad. I have to do that too for myself. It's crazy. Let's see. Debbie Bond, welcome. Thank you for joining us. She says Floriani Total Control, welcome. Let's see. I learned recently that organ needles are timed at the factory with Brother machines. Oh, that's cool to know. Sounds is the sound broken? Oh no. Did the sound come back? I hope it did. Oh, you know what? No, it shouldn't have been because of the thing. Thanks to your Sew What Pro tutorials, I'm opening my Baby Bean embroidery Etsy shop next week. Congratulations on your Etsy shop. That's going to be fun. So don't be too stressed out if orders slow down or whatever. Give folks time to spend money. So don't worry about that at all, because Etsy can slow down sometimes, unfortunately. But congratulations on that. Please be sure to send me the link to your Etsy shop so I can take a look and cheer you on. You will try it with the Floriani Total Control U software and post your results later. Okay, cool. Thank you. Sounds good now. Okay, cool. So what I'm getting ready to do is hoop my tearaway stabilizer, and then we will switch the camera at that time. I went ahead and put the design in the machine earlier, so we wouldn't have to waste time on that. Oh, you did get it. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know. Right. So we've hooped with a super big piece of tearaway stabilizer for whatever reason. We hooped our stabilizer, so I'm going to put this on the machine, and let's swap cameras so that you can see So I'm going to put this on the machine, and what I'm going to do to start out with my placement stitch is use, it's going to be a blue. Hopefully you'll be able to see the thread well enough. I probably should have grabbed black or something like that. But, and then once we do the placement stitch, I'm going to switch to white thread because my bobbin thread is white right now. So we're going to leave that there. My thread needle is already threaded. Pull that out some. Make sure everything is threaded properly. Now I'm going to pull up the design. We're going to do the plain one without the letter first. And then we're going to get this started. Now I haven't stitched this out yet, so this is a completely fresh project. And I don't like the length of that running stitch, so I'm going to change that the next time I do this project because that is entirely too short of a stitch. Oh, is it? I don't know how to. Hey, Angelia Baker. First, last, I use 60 weight bobbin thread. Let's see. Okay, so now that I have my running stitch, which as I mentioned, I don't like that running stitch. That running stitch is actually too short. So let me show you what I mean on that. Let me drop this down. And sorry about the camera. I'll see if we can't sharpen that up here in a minute. We got a new camera and I haven't used it yet. So where are you? You are right here. So let's do this. So when I was saying that the stitch length is too short, so when we go into add a border, the very first one, this black step, we add a circle. It was 3.6, 3.6, but the running outline, the stitch length, we need to increase this. Okay, so with the stitch length, I probably could have done, I don't know, maybe like a 6 or an 8 or something like that. But you definitely want to increase the stitch length because that is entirely too tight. All right, and I am not able to change that right now, I don't think. So let's see. So let's go back to our other camera. And now I have, oh, wrong camera. We need to go to this camera. So now we have our placement stitch to show where to put the fabric. So as I mentioned, the you can use quilter's cotton here if you wanted to. What I was going to suggest is just cut another piece of the microfiber that's going to be on the front. Just cut another piece of this to put in the middle. But quilter's cotton will hold more water because it's more it absorbs more than the this polyester will. So it's up to you how, you know, if you want it a little more wet or to hold a little more of the face cleaning product, then you can do quilter's cotton. But if you don't mind a little bit of a thinner pad, then you can just do another piece of this microfiber. And I'm going to slide this under there. Actually, let's lift the foot because it looks like it didn't cut the... Whoops. Sorry. Yeah, see, look, it tore my... Y'all know how it goes with this, how sometimes the things act up when you're live, and that actually is totally my fault because I put the wrong stitch length. So let me see if I can't fix that. I don't know that I'll be able to while I'm on live. That's going to be the problem. So let's do this. Let's go here, and we're going to make that. So I am adding, oh no, that's the wrong thing. Hold on. I'm adding another running outline. Thank you. Stitch length 9. Da 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 da. Okay. All right. And it's funny because that circle has 700 stitches, which is entirely too many. And this one says 328, so I don't think that's right either. That's entirely too many stitches, maybe. Let me go up and we'll say 1. Okay. We're going to leave that, and then I'm going to save as. Y'all know how things go great. We walking through this together, so you'll see what to do and what not to do. And I'm going to see if I can get that on the machine. Meanwhile, I'm going to have to put more stabilizer again because it tore the stabilizer. Not good. That's not how you want to start an in the hoop project at all. All right. Wrap that up and throw that away. And I'm going to what I'm doing so that you'll be able to see it, not just looking at me doing stuff. I'll redo my bobbin. And if you ever have issues with bird nesting, stuff like that, make sure that your bobbin is inserted based on that little picture and make sure that it's in there correctly. So we're going to put our stabilizer back in. So I'm going to cut another piece to go in that. And then while I do this, tearing up and tearing down, y'all. Tearing up and tearing down. Okay. Ta-da-da! Let's see if we can't get that to work now. And I'm going to cause myself a problem by doing that because I need to do this and see if that works. There we go. You know what? This is what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this. And hopefully not cause an issue. I don't know if that's going to work. All right, let me get back to chat. I may have to hook up my other computer. I can't, but Sheila Cushionberry, I don't know what that dumb bobbin cover is. I done messed up. Better to make mistakes on the stabilizer and not on a garment. That is absolutely correct. So now I need my machine to show up. Is that it? Yes. Okay. All right, hopefully that worked. And then hopefully this works again. Can't tell. Let's see. Make sure my camera isn't jacked up. Here it is. Oh no. Let's see. Okay. It's going to be a boo-boo. So let's see. This one. Is it? Okay, cool. I was worried. I thought I totally messed up. Like, totally. Okay. All right. There we go. Yay. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so I added the other design back on the machine. Did the video cut out? Yeah, it did, because I unplugged the camera so that I could plug up. Long story. It's a long story, Glenn. It's a long story. All right, so I'm going to bring up the design again. So let's see if this one stitches better. So this one, you remember my stitch length was 2. It was on 2 when I added that circle. So this time it's on 9. Actually, you know what? That's not going to work, because the other circle needs to be on, the stitch length needs to be longer on that one as well, now that I think about it. So I'm going to have to fix that as well. But at least I can do it this time. So we'll go here. And we'll go here. We're going to make this one that as well. And what color is that one? Blue. All right. Cool beans. So let's try this again to make sure that we have the right thing. Yeah, I know I'm messing with your machine. Okay. All right, now we'll try it again. Okay. Hey, Dad Prince, how are you? Welcome. Okay, y'all, let's try this again. Is the camera on the, yes it is. So let's try. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Oh man, much better. Still a little tighter than I want it to be. Still a little tight, but at least it's way better than what it was. Oh, I keep doing that. Keep doing that because that's gonna get on my nerves. Marge said slide another piece of tearaway under the one. Yeah, that would have been smart. I don't know how. It'll mess it up. Let me try. I wish I would have too, but I did not. All right, so now that we have our, let me lift my foot and make sure that this tore. I mean, not tore, but make sure that the it cut because it didn't. I don't know if my thread cutter, I don't know if I need a new blade or what, but the thread cutter is not playing nice. All right, so let me see. He says that the camera is super blurry. I apologize. So now that we have our circle, I'm going to, whoops, sorry. I'm going to add the quilted, the inside layer. Okay, so this is the inside layer. So as I mentioned, I'm just doing another piece of this polyester cloth that I'm going to use for the back of our makeup pad remover. You can use quilter's batting to go in the middle, the cotton, if you want to. All right, my fingernails are jagged and snatching my stuff all over the place, y'all. This is crazy. Okay, so that's there. And now I need to take a piece of the fat quarter and put it on top. All right, so this is 2 layers of fabric, not just one. So here is the fabric that I'm going to use for the front. Whoops, I'm sorry. I hate keep making that thing move like that. Now you can, let me do it this way. You can use sticky adhesive if you want to or whatever, but here's the quilt, the microfiber, and here's the front. This layer of microfiber, as I mentioned, is going to be the batting for the middle in my project, but you can use quilter's cotton. So you want to make sure that both pieces of fabric cover the circle entirely. All right, so I checked and it does. So now we want to stitch our tack down stitch because we're going to take this off and then we're going to cut this out. Okay. That is entirely too tight of a stitch, so I need to go bigger than 9 next time. That's entirely too tight of a stitch, y'all. Don't do yours like that. As a matter of fact, since I connected the machine to the computer, we'll play with those numbers again. So that won't be that tight. That's ridiculously tight. But the rest of this should stitch out better, fine, rather I should say. Let me go fix that. All right. So that step is done. And now let me change to this so that we can cut this out. So I'm going to take it off of the machine. Cut my thread first. Now, although I am taking this off, I don't want to take it out of the hoop. Okay, so all we're going to do is leave it in the hoop and then cut around the outside of that circle. So basically, I should have my applique scissors, but I don't have them on me right now because I'm not in my studio. And we're just going to cut around, and these are like substandard scissors, so I'm going to turn this out with it on the desk. So sorry, I'm not going to be able to hold it up and show it because these scissors are not the best for cutting out the fabrics. But I will show you what it's going to look like before we stitch our next step. So for those of you who are following along in real time, as Miss Ross is, I apologize for setting the stitch length wrong. I'm going to use a stitch length of 2 with this next go around because that's crazy. This shouldn't be that tight. Ouch. Okay. So we got this cut off. I did not bring a garbage can over here. Okay. Ta-da! So here is the cutout from our fabric. So now we want to do our quilting pattern. So the quilting should be the next step. So let's put it back on the machine. And then I'll switch to the blurry camera again. And I did blue, but I'm going to change the color. I did the blue so that you could see the placement stitch really well. And now I'm going to switch to my white thread. So let's thread this puppy. And we're going to do this number right here. All right, and so now our next color stop is for our quilting. So let's get it quilted. Probably should have used a darker gray, but it'll be all right. At least you'll be able to see the quilted pattern with this one. Oh, and someone asked if the Sew What Pro demo version would work with this. I'm gonna say no. I'm pretty sure it won't. And I'm gonna go get a gray to match this fabric for our next makeup pad. super cute. OMG. Is the running stitch the same as the basting stitch? Usually yes. Usually. And then I also went and got my applique scissors to make my life so much easier for our next one. All right. So now our quilting stitch. Ooh, is this thread shredding? This thread looks like it's shredding. I hope not. All right. Oh. So our next stitch, our next step would be the monogram. If I were to do a monogram on this particular one, but I'm not. So we'll do the monogram on the next one. So let me thread this thing again. You know what? Let's take this off first. So it's out of the way. And look, the darn bobbin thread, y'all, I don't know why this thing, I need a new cutter or something. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All right, and now I need to re-thread this. So my thread is shredding. I don't know why. All right, there we go. Right, yep. So now that, did y'all not see that stitch out? Did I have the wrong camera up? Oh my God, I had the wrong camera up. I apologize. Anyways, it quilted. Yay! It's one of them days, y'all. One of them nights, pretty much. But anyways, here's our quilted makeup pad. I don't have the monogram on this one. We'll do the monogram on the next one. Right? So you can quilt on your machine. So now I'm not going to do the monogram. We're going to finish this out. So what I need to do, this is the front. So on the, what does she click on after the quilt stitch? After the quilt stitch is going to be either the monogram or it's going to be the satin outline. Okay. So the back side is going to be microfiber because it's super soft for the skin, take the makeup off, the whole nine. So what we want to do is put this on the back. All right. Now, under normal circumstances, what I would suggest is one of a couple of things. Either do some spray adhesive, really light spray adhesive, and put this on the back, or you can tape it down to the back, out, make sure it's out of the way of the stitches. For the sake of time, and I don't have spray adhesive right here with me, I don't have pins right here with me, nor tape. I'm just going to hold it. So we're going to hold this in place and we're going to finish this project, okay? So the final step, I'm not doing the monogram, so the final step is going to be the satin outline. But you want to take the hoop off of the machine and put your microfiber on the back side, all right? Because this is the front. We want to finish it and put it on the back. All right, so actually, you know what we should have done? I'm going to tell you what we should have done. We should have done another I'm gonna back up the machine and do another of the tack down stitch, and then we'll trim this because I don't want this to be outside of the satin stitch. Okay, do you follow where I'm going with that? Keep following me. We'll switch the camera and you'll see. So I'm gonna back this up and just do the tack down stitch, and then we'll cut the microfiber off before we do that final satin stitch. Okay, so like I said, we were doing this on the fly. We're doing this on the fly, so there was bound to be craziness, but this is what trial and error. This is how folks go through what they go through, rather, when they're digitizing and creating designs. They do trial and error. They see what works, what doesn't work, try this, try that, and put designs together, and basically create their digitized designs. It's actually it could be a tedious process, but it, you know, that's just what we have to go through. What do you have on the knob of your, it is a Embroidery Diva. It is a pencil grip. Do I have some pencil grips somewhere? I think I have some pencil grips somewhere. Let me go see if I can find pencil grips, and I'll show you what that looks like. And then this time I'll grab some, well, spray these for the next project. This is also a really cute project that you can do to use up a bunch of cotton fabric, quilters cotton, whatever. If you want to just get rid of some extra fabric. This is what I had on the knob of the embroidery hoop. These are pencil grips that go on the ends of pencils. You can get these from Dollar Tree or Walmart in the stationery section. And I just take one and cut it in half. See, these scissors are crazy. And then use it on the screw of the embroidery hoop. You're welcome, Sew On. This size hoop is 4x4. Yes, you can use it on your single fritura. Yes. All right. So now I've backed it up to the place, the tack down stitch, so that I could cut this out on the backside applique style again, just like we did on the front. So if you're following me step by step and putting a design together, what we want to do the next time we do this design is we want to add another tack down stitch so that we can trim the back. All right, so when we take this off, we should have our back tack down. Okay, so it's not coming off. So now let's trim. I'm going to trim around this, and I'm glad I went and got my applique scissors so that we can make this process a lot easier. If you need applique scissors, they're in my Amazon store. The link to the Amazon store is in the description of this video, and you can find some applique scissors there. All right. And again, I'm doing the same thing, cutting around the circle, just like I did on the front, but this time we didn't want to quilt the back. So that's why I didn't put the back on and cut it out at the same time as cutting out the front, okay? So if you ever want to get into making your own in the hoop designs or your own designs, if you have an idea, yada yada, this is the type of stuff you got to go through trial and error, see if it works, see if it's gonna, you know, in theory, I knew it should work, and it did for the most part. But there's parts where, you know, making sure your stitch length is the right length and all of that kind of stuff. So now here's the back side of our makeup pad remover. Here's the front. Didn't change anything with that. So what I'm going to do is put it back on the machine, and now we'll do our satin outline. Okay. So let's get you switched over. Oops. Without throwing spray adhesive all over the darn place. And I'm going to put it on to my satin stitch and let that stitch out. So Sweetness, I haven't heard of it. I'll have to check it out. And yes, Embroidery Diva, you do have to be pretty careful when you're using those applique scissors. So, hi, Pumpkin. Welcome. Oh, the embroidery machine, yes. Bag making community, oh, I love bags. Oh, I love bags. So we may have to definitely check them out. And I'm going to change, I don't like this thread. I'm going to change my thread too. That thread is acting crazy and I don't know why. I'll go grab a different thread. Have you had any problems with your ePhoto ink heat press? My kids gave me a gift certificate for Christmas to purchase one, but haven't gotten it yet. A lot of good reviews, but some bad ones also. I have not had a problem with it yet. What size is the makeup pad circle? It is 3.8, so almost 4 inches. So far, the only problem I had with my heat press was my fault because I had it in the weather, out in the weather, and having it out in the weather, it messed with the temperature gauge thingy and broke it. So I had to buy a new one and just replace just that part, the display, and then I haven't had any other issues out of that heat press until recently. I guess I'm too rough on it. I ended up breaking the welding for the bottom plate, and now my bottom plate isn't welded on like it's supposed to be. So here shortly, we have plans to try and get us another heat press, but we'll get there. But otherwise, I love my heat press. Love it very, very much. So what was 3.6? 3.6 was the tack down and the placement stitch size. So the reason why, and while that stitch is out, we'll show you. Go back to the file so that you can see it. The reason why the 3.6 is important, and then the 3.8, the outer, very outer edge of this satin stitch, the very outer rim, not the inside rim, the out rim of this is 3.8, okay? But 3.6, see, notice how just those 0.2 of the measurement brings it to the middle or brings it to the inside of that satin stitch. Because if I had have left it at 3.8, let's add a 3.8 circle so that you can see what the difference is. 3.8 and 3.8, and this one I'm going to make it red so that you can definitely see it. All right, see, notice where that 3.6 is. I'm sorry, that 3.8. Notice where the 3.8 lands, right on the outer rim of that green satin. So imagine if we had of used this as our tack down stitch and we cut out the fabric along this line. When you cut it, it still has that little bit of fabric hanging over your applique line, right? So if there's that little bit of fabric left over, and when it goes to do the satin stitch, it won't cover the edge, the raw edge of the fabric that you cut. So that's why we made it 3.8, so that that little bit of raw fabric that's left over from the outside of this satin stitch will definitely cover it, because the satin stitch is 3.8, but this tack down stitch where we cut along is 3.6. We actually could have even made it 3.4 and it would have brought it even down closer to the inner rim, but I definitely wanted to make sure that all of the raw edges of all of the fabric was going to be covered. So that's why this has to be definitely that 0.2 smaller than the outside. So you can make these makeup pads any size you want. Okay, this is not a you absolutely have to do it a certain way type project. Okay, so like this one, what did I say? It was 3.8. You can make it 2.8. You can make it, you know, whatever you want. It's up to you. So let's take this off, and we'll look at it a little bit closer with this other camera. So here you see it's starting to come out of the hoop already because I had it the wrong stitch size. All right, so going back to the raw edge, a lot of this that you're going to see on the fray on the outside, the fluffy, a lot of that is the stabilizer, because I use that fuzzy stabilizer that Miss Leela Nelson didn't like. And I don't like it either, really, technically, but I need to use it up. So now I can use this as a makeup pad. This is the finished makeup pad. Now this may be too big for you, you know, this might be too big of a size. If so, when you do yours, you can make it 3 inches, and then the inner circle will be 2.8. This is an entirely up to you project. You didn't have to use the circle, you could have used the square. You see what I'm saying? That's what I liked about doing this particular project, because you can customize it. Let's do another one real quick. Hopefully it'll turn out a lot better, because I increased the stitch length this time to 2.0 instead of before I had it at, initially I had it at what, 2, and that was entirely too small. Too close, rather. And then I switched it to 9, and the stitches still were, in my opinion, too close together. So now I've just put it to 2, and we'll see how that goes. All right. Let me make sure that I put the right file on the machine. Let's go here and take a look-see. Hopefully I changed it. Pretty sure I did, but you know what? Just to be sure, I'm going to take this one out and then put it back on the machine so that we know for sure we're stitching the right one. Okay, so take this and move it down. So this time we're going to actually do the monogram on the front, so it's going to take a little bit longer. And I already have the stabilizer on the machine, and we're going to go ahead. So when you add the monogram, you would not have added the back soft fabric. That is correct. That is correct. Because you don't want the monogram to come through on the back. I'm wondering how to cut this out and not cut into the satin stitch. That's why I said you want to be sure that you, he said get the lighter, Glenn said get the lighter out. I know, right? Made it a smidgen smaller so no fuzziness around edges, Sheila Cushionberry said. You see what I'm saying? So use this to make your own and make it custom, make it work the way you need it to. There's nothing wrong with that. So we are going to back out of this, and then I'm going to go ahead with my white thread this time. Oh, wrong thread, but I'm gonna let it stitch. Let's see how that 2.0 works. It's still trashy. I don't like that. What did I do? Hold on, y'all, because I don't like the that stitch is still too short. Let me make sure that I did this right. I know what I just sat here and did, and now it's wanting to tell me I'm wrong. Oh, I know what I did. Okay. 2.0. And then this one is 3 point. Instead of, okay. Running outline is the circle. This one is the placement stitch. It should be 2.0 this time instead of 2. Okay, and now my blue. Oh, you know what? I know what I did wrong. OMG. Okay, so if that was, that's not gonna work. Okay. It can't be 2.0. We'll have to make it 20. So we made it 20. And so when I put in 2.0, 2.0 does not work right there, which I should have known. Okay. Woo, trial and error, y'all, trial and error. Okay, so now I want to do the bean outline, and I want that to be 20 as well. That size. The color is blue, so I don't know. It's different. And then okay. And take this one out, and then we're going to hold down shift, drag this up, and oh yeah, I want to duplicate this. Actually, we'll do it this way. I'm going to add in that second placement stitch after the applique and after the monogram. So this one is going to be purple and before the satin stitch. All right, now let's save this sucker, and we're going to put this on the machine. Let me back out of this. Okay. Where are you? Right here. All right, now let's go back to the machine and see if this worked this time. Didn't I say I'm not? Darn thing. Big difference. Yes, look at that. Is it stitching? Yes, stitching. Big difference. Okay, so stitch length 20. stitch length is 20. Yes, you won't tear away. So first, last, if we do 2.5 millimeter, then it should be 25, not 2, because 2, it won't let you do point nothing. So just learned that the hard way. All right, so in this one, you guys, what I'm going to do, just for my own curiosity, and to see what the difference is, I'm going to actually use the quilter's cotton this time. So we'll see what the difference is with the thickness, and we'll know, whether or not quilter's cotton is worth using it or not. All right, so, and then also I was told, someone had the idea, if you make these big enough for those who are nursing mothers, you can make, use these as nursing pads. So, not just makeup, because like, I know for myself, I'm not, oh yeah, I meant to change this thread. I'm not a huge fan of a bunch of makeup. So I rarely wear makeup. But I also don't nurse anything. So these are going to be, I guess, lipstick remover pads or something. Or nail polish remover pads. It could be either or. Alrighty. So we got our white thread on here. A different spool, because the other spool was shredding and I don't know why. Alright, so here's our quilter's cotton. So this is quilter's cotton, not the microfiber this time. So I'll make sure my circle is covered. And then my same fabric, which I probably should have put this together first before putting it on the machine, but there we go. All right. Sweat pad. Oh, ice glass cleaners. Oh, slit in it used for feeding tubes. Awesome. Y'all, look, you have the ideas. You have the right ideas. All right, so here's our tack down stitch, which I also changed to 20 on Sew It Pro. For stitch length, we did 20. And whoops, sorry. And next time I think I'll follow the advice of first, last, and do 25. But right now, the 20 looks good. 20 looks great, actually. Personal coaster. It's definitely absorbent enough for it. All right. And so after this step, after the tack down, what's next? We will be cutting this out with our applique scissors. All right. And with the longer stitch length, this definitely went faster. All right, so I'm going to take this off so that I can cut that out. And I'm going to cut this out without changing the camera so we can save time. And Sheila Cushionberry pointed out that she made hers a smidge smaller to make sure that those stitches were covered. So that's a good idea if you would like to. So instead of doing 0.2 less, then you could do 0.3. But what you definitely want to be sure is that the whatever size you break it down to, you want to make sure that it is under the satin stitch. Make sure that that placement tack down stitch is under your satin stitches. So you got to play with it and look at it and make sure what you're working with. All right, so the quilter's cotton, I'll show you what I don't like about the quilter's cotton. Real quick. Okay, so the quilter's cotton is a lot more, it is harder to cut along with the fabric and have it, see how it's sticking out? See how it's sticking out from the edge? I don't care for that, but if your satin stitches are big enough, it'll cover that. Okay, so now we want to do our quilting. Oh, I was supposed to change the color. Hold on. We're going to match our thread for the quilt design. We're going to match the thread to the background color of the fabric. We doing this super fancy. Super duper fancy, y'all. All right, so now let's quilt. What were the steps for the quilting part? On Sew What Pro, you go into, hang on, oh, here we are. We'll let that stitch. Okay, so to do the quilting part, you want to go to add a border. And once you select add a border, you want to come to stippling. Select stippling and it will pull up your quilting designs. So if we want to, we can pick a different quilting design if we want to. So I'll pick that one that's in mind. And you want to make, oh, well, actually, hold on. Ignore everything I just said. Actually, hold on. Let's do a new one. The reason why we're going to start from scratch is because it works better if you have just one thing, one outline to use to put your stippling to the inside of. If I had two lines, it'll confuse it. You got too many different things. The stippling will be all crazy. I've already been there. Don't do it. Just start with a bare basic circle in the final size that you want your quilting to be. All right, so this is the final size. Now we want to go to add a border, stippling, because we have our circle already there that we're going to use. You want to pick whatever design, quilting design. These are built in. You can also add your own, which if you want to know how to add your own quilting in there, it's in the Sew What Pro class. All right, and that's on my website. So you click on the quilting and then we'll hit quilt interior because we want to quilt the inside of this circle. And then we'll click OK. And then we'll click OK again. And now we have our quilting stitch to the inside of the first line. Okay, so now there's our quilting stitch. After your quilting stitch is in there and it's at the right size, now we want to add our tack down stitch, the bean outline, and we'll go to another circle. We're going to keep the same sizes as the first circle. We're going to change the color of the thread. We're going to make it, let's do a light pink just for the heck of it. Because Scooby-Doo loves the pink. And we'll hit OK. And then click OK again. And now our bean stitch is perfectly placed over the top of our first placement stitch. Alright, so the correct order for this is tack down, placement stitch to show where you're going to place your fabric. So your placement stitch, then your tack down stitch to tack down the fabric that you placed, right? So in order to move this, hold down your shift key, select the stitch placement that you want to move until that little square shows up, and then drag it to step number 2 because that's where we want it to go. So now we'll get our placement stitch, where to place your fabric, tack down stitch to tack down the fabric that you placed. After the tack down stitch, we're going to do the cutout to cut out the circle around our tack down stitch. Then we'll do our quilting. After you quilt, then you add your satin stitch to finish it out, unless you want to do a monogram. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the machine. It's done quilting. So our quilting is there. It's in the same color as the background fabric. Now I'm going to put the monogram on there. The monogram, though, I want to be in white to complement the funky lettering that's in the background of this fabric, which I think is super cute. All right, so we're changing. Whoops, where did that thread go? I don't like that. Let me rethread. That's probably why it's been shredding the thread. Okay. All right. There we go. And now we're going to do our letter, our monogram. Let me cut this because that is annoying. Sheila Cushberry says she's going to make some small hearts with words to add to the bow centers for her granddaughter. That's going to be super cute. Totally adorable. Definitely personalize these. Definitely personalize them. Can you edit the blank area in the center of the quilted area to be bigger to fit a monogram in? You can, but how to do, I don't remember how to do it exactly with Sew It Pro. I just know the basic of adding that quilting design. So I'll look into it and see if I can figure it out, though. Can't hurt. Meaning you want to cut out the center so that it doesn't stitch through the center, and you can do the design in the middle. You should be able to. If not, find a quilted design that you can bring into Sew It Pro, and you'll have it yourself, and you can do it over and over again. So it would be, you know what? What am I saying? You should be able to cut out the circle using the cutout feature. Let me look at that. Wow. Hold on. Hold on. You got my brain thinking. Hold on. Cutting toolbar. Yes, Sheila Cushionberry, you can using the cutting toolbar. It's not perfect, but it can be done. That's almost done. So what I've done is this is the one we just made. I opened the cutting toolbar. I left it at select points, and I just put points down in the shape of a circle. And then cut pattern, cut and save all. So it cut out the middle, and now you select this one, left click, delete thread, and now the center is gone. So I mean, that's a crude way to do it, but without having full digitizing software, that's one way to do it. And then you can put the monogram right here in the middle. It's uneven, as you can see. You know, you'll have to play with it and get it to work properly. But yes, you can cut out the center using the cutting toolbar feature. So let's go back to our monogram that's almost done. That's super cute, y'all. Oh my gosh. My little makeup remover pad thing is fancy. All right, so I went back and I added in the tack down stitch to this pattern to added the tack down stitch so that all I got to do is put this microfiber fabric on the back, and I don't have to back up the design to this time. So I did bring the spray adhesive, but I don't like using spray adhesive with this machine, so I'm not going to use it. It gums it up sometimes. I don't care for that. All right, make sure that that fabric flows with the hoop. I'm going to feel under here and make sure it came with it. Yep, it did. Nope, it didn't. Not on that side anyway. Let me lift this up and get that fabric. Well, that's why spray adhesive is important, right? There we go. Come on, Bessie. Oh, that's what happened. Okay. There we go. Yas. Okay. So make sure it's there. Make sure it's over here. And it's over there. Okay. And now I'm going to do the tack down stitch for the back fabric. You're welcome, Shoot Cushionberry. What font is the letter? It's a Stitchtopia font named Abigail. Stitchtopia. And I have a coupon in the description box for Stitchtopia. You get 10% off your first order if you use my coupon code in the description of this video. She has gorgeous embroidery fonts. Absolutely gorgeous. They all stitch practically flawlessly. Can you quilt outside the circle? Yes, you can. Definitely can. You're welcome. What I can do is, if you're interested in this design that I created, I can put this on our website, babiesbooty.com, on our store. We can put this one for $1, like we have our other designs, and you can purchase it if you don't have Sew What Pro and just want to try it out. We just ask that you use this for yourself. Don't give the file to anyone else. You can direct them to our website to get that file. All right, so now that we have it, I'm just going to cut this out just like we did the front, and then we'll do our satin stitch and we'll be done. Our satin outline. So you'll have to give me, well, I'll do it while the satin stitch is stitching out. We'll put it up on the website. All right, so that's cut out. And now we'll put this on the machine for our final satin stitch, final stitch out. Can it be done on the magnetic hoop? Yes. Yes, it can. All right, so we saved that. Let's use a brush. You're welcome, Lucky Lucy. Let's see. Actually, I meant to change this. Options. There we go. Oh. Really? Act up. Let's see. DST. The fabric that I am using, the speed, Lucky Lucy, I can't change the speed on this machine, so I believe it's like 600 stitches a minute or something like that. What materials do you need? All of that is at the beginning of this video. But it's your front facing fabric, which is cotton, your interior, which could be quilters cotton, quilters batting, or you can get the microfiber. I just used this microfiber washcloth from Dollar Tree and cut it up and put one square in the middle and then a square of this for the back, or you can use the quilters batting and then a square of this for the back. Your thread, your scissors, you know, that type stuff. If you want the monogram, it is Stitchtopia and it's the Abigail font. It's in the description of the video as well. And as long as you have an embroidery machine, you can make this design. And yes, you can use a water-soluble stabilizer for this as well. Yes, that's for sure. On the website, I'll save the DST file. Most people can pull up DST. And whatever embroidery software you use, you should be able to switch it to whatever your machine uses. Actually, I'll do DST and PES, right? Let's see. All right, y'all. So our makeup pad remover is done. And since it finished faster than I can get this file uploaded, it should be uploaded within the hour. Here's our makeup remover pad. It has already started to tear away from the outside, so maybe a stronger stabilizer than what I have tear away. But here we go. We just tore it out of the hoop, quilted on the front, nice and soft microfiber on the back. Here's the one that I did with this one, sorry, is the one that I did with the microfiber layer on the inside and microfiber on the back and cotton on the front. This is the one that I did with the quilters batting on the inside, microfiber on the back, cotton on the front. You can tell it is a smidge thicker, not by too much, but it is a little loftier than this one. Notice how this one is all wobbly and this was nice and straight. So the quilter's cotton, I think, is a better option for this project. If you have it. If not, like I said, maybe do 2 pieces then of the microfiber on the inside. But either way, it turns out to be a really cute project that you can customize, make whatever size you want, put whatever letter or design you want on the inside. The file that's going to be uploaded will just have the E. You can stitch the E if you want to. You don't have to. You can take the E out if you want to. It doesn't matter to me. Skip the E or whatever. This is going to be available. And it's a cute little makeup remover pad. Great. We went a little bit over. I apologize for that. But I definitely wanted to be sure that we got our project done so that you can see, you can create your own in the hoop little projects. If you know how it works out and how you want to do it with just your basic shapes, you can come up with some stuff and actually make a project that you can sell and make money off of. It wasn't hard to make this at all, was it? Not at all. So you could sell like a little set of these if you wanted to and find a little like in the hoop pouch to put them in. You can make them smaller, like in a couple of different sizes. This is just, it was a really cute project. And I'm glad we sat down and made it. And like I said, if you don't have editing software, SWP Pro is the way to go. It's affordable. It's $65. You can purchase it and free upgrades to the software anytime they make changes to it. It's just a phenomenal little software program. I recommend it highly. I've had it for some years now and I love it. So they're constantly doing new stuff with it. And this was just one of the many projects that we've been able to do and get done. And my first quilting project with y'all. For us doing quilting. That's what I told you. We're going to try and get into it. But my focus on quilting, especially right now, is going to be on the machine. All right. So I had a ball, starting to lose my voice. So it's time to pack it up and head in. But I definitely want to thank you all for joining us this evening. The size of my mighty hoop for my red line. What size mighty hoop do you have for your 15 needle? I have 2 5.5. I have one sleeve. It's a 14-inch long by, I want to say 5 inches. I'm not sure. Then I have a smaller one, which I want to say is a 6 by, it's like a 5 by 6, I think, something like that. It's not too much bigger than the, no, it's bigger than that. So it's like a 7 by 5, I think, something like that. And then I have a super large one. I don't even know what size it is. It's so big. The biggest that I could get for mighty hoops for that machine. And I think that's it. Pretty sure that's it. And then I have three hoops for the 6 needle. That sleeve mighty hoop is total awesome sauce, especially for like my cheer jacket backs. They have, you know, one set of letters going down the front. It's perfect for that. And then some going across the back, just one line. It's perfect for that. So I love that sleeve hoop. That loud screech is hard. I'm sorry, first, last. I'm not a technical person much anymore, so it's difficult to figure this out. And a lot of times, unless I'm live, I don't know how to fix it. I mean, it's just trial and error. And as soon as it goes live, it goes live. So it's hard to hear what it sounds like from my end. That's why my husband constantly comes in here, whispers around the corner to fix this and do that. So I'll see if I can't work with him and we'll try and get it figured out. But otherwise, I don't know what else to do. I really don't. So at any rate, I appreciate you guys joining us this evening. This was a really cool project again. And I look forward to our next project together. And as I mentioned, we do have some classes on our one class on our website live now, and in the Hoop project with two in the Hoop project designs that are going to be totally fun. I'm really excited about those classes. Can you go bigger on the 425? It is 4 inches. You can get a repositional hoop off of Amazon that takes it from 4x4 to like 4x6.5. The only problem is you really need a software program to break up the little bit larger embroidery design. Um, and in addition to that, you wouldn't be able to do this project with that bigger hoop. So you can, in the hoop projects are pretty much very difficult to do on that repositional hoop, but everything else you should be okay doing on the repositional hoop. Okay, you're welcome. I'm glad you guys liked it. And like I said, this is a little bit something extra to add to maybe you could sell category. I absolutely love that. So if you make some, please post pictures in the hoop group. We would love to see the pictures of what you've done. All right. So you guys, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing you around in the hoop group. Embroidery is my first love, and we'll definitely be doing some more in the hoop projects in the future. But meanwhile, our next video, I believe, is going to be sublimation based. No, it's going to be rhinestone based because we got a surprise coming for you next live on Sunday. So it'll be rhinestone based. But having fun, that's the name of the game, right? So you guys have a great night. I enjoyed you hanging out with me. And until the next time we see you, we hope you have happy embroidering. So have a good night, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye.